Sports and Songs podcast, a pro wrestling edition, episode number 1. My name is Dan. We're hosted here with Andy. Say hello, Andy.
Hello, Andy.
And Craig from Philly's joining us here. How's it going, Craig?
All right, doing good.
So we're going to talk a little All-Star Wrestling, and there we go.
That was me. Sorry, I'll turn it off.
I'm gonna be mainly just more of a moderator here for the show. I'm gonna back out of the screen. I'm gonna back on. You'll be able to hear my voice. You guys will be able to chat a little wrestling.
All right.
Craig, you could put your video down a little bit, or it's kind of your top of your head's being cut off a little. Maybe raise it up. Sorry, maybe raise it up a little. There you go.
Bad haircut you don't want to see or something.
Now you're set. And
all right.
Now I got a couple logos here. We're gonna go alphabetical order here, I think.
Yes.
And what are some of your thoughts? You guys
I'm more an AEW guy than Craig is, I think. I think some of the things I've noticed, kind of rehashing some stuff we talked about last night, kind of get Craig's point on it. One thing I heard about AEW right now is the character Orange Cassidy is now doing some agent work in the back, or booking in the back. Not booking, agent work. He's doing some of the matches, and they're having to do that. Guy's been in the business 19 years, so he's not new to it. You know, a lot of these guys think everybody in AEW just started their career 4 years ago. They didn't. A lot of these guys have been in for a while. But what do you think, though, guys like Orange Cassidy, who's been in the business 20 years, now he's going to be an agent, but he's still wrestling. Do you think that's a good thing, or you should be just a wrestler or just an agent?
Just a wrestler.
Yeah, just be one or the other. Don't do both.
There's a lot of retired wrestlers that have very good insight handle that role. I'm not an Orange Cassidy fan, so
neither am I.
I'm maybe a little biased on that because I really don't like his gimmick and his in-ring work. So, but I don't know. He's around the guys all the time. Maybe he'd be a better agent than he is in the ring. So
I don't mind the thing I don't like about the gimmick. They shouldn't have a title belt on him. He's a nice mid-card guy, second match of the show guy. Don't give him a belt. He's a nice,
yes,
non-title guy.
He's a complimentary wrestler. And goes out there. You're gonna get comedy, little catch here and there. But to have him have a belt and kind of come out at the top of the hour on Dynamite, kind of like, yeah. I don't know. They try to make him a main draw, but I don't think he's a main draw. He might sell a lot of merch. I give him that.
Oh, yeah.
But
I heard a lot of things saying that his relationship with Tony Khan is a lot like the one Vince McMahon had with Undertaker, very tight, which kind of scares me that a character like Orange Cassidy's got all that pull now and back,
Well, I believe JR said in the meeting, he's like, why are we promoting this guy? Why are we pushing this guy? But he gets a pop and his merch sells. So I guess if somebody is selling me a bunch of merch, I'll display them. But
yeah, I don't get it. They got 3 shows going now with Collision and Rampage and Dynamite. They're thinking of bringing another title belt in so Collision could have its own title.
Which they should.
Which they kind of should. I like they got the All Atlantic or All International, whatever Orange Cassidy's belt is called. You got your TV title. You got your world title. Is the other one like a world title? Do you make it a mid-card type belt? Maybe whatever type of name for it?
Mid-card with some steam on it. So like if Miro had it or somebody like that, it would have some impressive meaning to it. Or Powerhouse Hobbs or somebody like that.
Yep.
That's
now with the old WCW TV title got flipped around every 2 weeks. But some little meat on it. Call it what you will. Maybe you can't use North American title because they got that at NXT, but come up with some kind of name. If they want to travel a lot, come up with a European title type name or something like that.
I'm with you. Totally.
The women's division over there was going strong. I think the last 6 months has kind of really dropped off. It just fell off the face of the earth for a while.
I am a fan of Storm and Outcast, actually. And then after that, Britt Baker, what happened to her? She was the face of that.
Yeah, I think she got burned down on it. She didn't want to be the face, I don't think. She just wanted to be one of the gals, but they had no one else to put the belt on, so they had to give it to her.
Yeah, they need her to be a heel.
Yeah. And then
babyface ain't cutting it for me. She needs to be a heel.
You know, Chris Statlander's back. I'm a big Chris Statlander guy. I like her. I like her work. But also she comes back, wins the title, and you don't see her anymore now. So I don't know what's going on with that.
Yeah, she wrestled, I think, last week, but
yep.
So.
Is it just me, or are you counting the days for the MJF Adam Cole thing just to be done with?
I want it to be done with. It's. I don't think it's helping either one's career right now. I mean, I thought MJF was the pinnacle of wrestling. He would be like my guy.
Yeah.
Watching this stuff in the bad comedy and in the.
Oh yeah.
It's just the last. They made Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia look like chump change in the last match.
Right.
Laid down for them. They were doing all this stupid stuff, and it just diminished their value.
Yeah, and I guess I could see a little bit with Adam Cole coming back from injury, something a little like this. I'm okay with him being in something like that. But with MJF, who's the world champion, and you're kind of taking away the credibility of the belt by doing this, in my opinion.
Exactly. Well, what they need to do in order to save this for me is have Adam Cole turn on MJF at the end.
So you're saying keep MJF as the face and make Adam Cole the heel?
Yes, I think if it's the other way around, I don't think it'd have as much pop. I think if you had Adam Cole give him a knee in the back of the head at some point, and then Adam Cole gets with Roderick Strong, and I think that, or it could be the opposite. Roderick Strong and Adam Cole could be at it.
Yeah.
So I would personally have Adam Cole turn on MJF.
Yeah, because I like to see that, because I like Adam Cole, but he's better as a heel.
Well, so is MJF, but
that's true.
Both though, I think he could be a great baby face, but not for a while. Not him and Jericho in the same boat. They only can be baby faces for a short amount of time because they're better heels. You know? Like 2 months out of the year, they're baby faces, and the rest of the time they're heels, in my opinion, because they're so better as heels. So,
now, Ricky Starks made the heel turn the other night. Kind of.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but Ricky Starks is one of my favorites, and I think in AEW, his ceiling to me is so high. You know,
I loved him in NWA before he came here. He was great.
Yes, and now they're giving him on Collision. He's getting the spotlight, and he's showing up. He's kind of acting like Ric Flair in a way. I dress good. My shoes are $1,000. You know, he's kind of gotten over with me on that. You know, being like a rich, spoiled athlete. You know, so I like this churn a little bit. So
I'm not a big CM Punk guy, though, so I'm kind of glad it happened to CM Punk. He did it on. Punk put him over, so I give him credit for that.
Well, from what I understand with Collision, CM Punk kind of is behind the scenes kind of working on that show. So CM Punk wanted to work with FTR and Ricky Starks. So it's no surprise that he put Ricky Starks over. He might have plans down the line, but for right now, I like it. I'm a CM Punk fan. I'm not like in love with them, but I think FTR's the close to the town and on Collision for sure. Oh, Hart and Jay White. Wow.
Yeah, I think Punk saw the writing on the wall though too. He knows that with wrestling today, we all have the internet stuff we see behind the scenes. He knew it wouldn't be smart to put himself over the first few weeks and look bad. It'd be like, it's the praise CM Punk show. So him doing the job was a smart move on his part, I thought.
100%. Exactly how what you're thinking is what happened. 100%. He wants to, in the locker room also. He can come out and say he doesn't care about whatever. I'm sure he wants the locker room to like him also. So.
Yep. And FTR, I think they kind of want to have a little smaller schedule themselves now, so they're okay kind of being on Collision. If we have the belts, great. If we don't, whatever. You know, they're just They want to kind of settle down their road schedule thing too.
Yeah, I have to bring it up. I don't know if you want to bring it up later, but I'm going to bring it up now. Dave Meltzer gave that FTR Bullet Club Gold match a 5.2, and I don't like Meltzer, but he was on point with this one because I don't know. You watched that 58-minute match? That was great. You had old school, you had modern wrestling, you didn't bury the ref, no furniture used. It wasn't, it was a classic, good old fight, and that really got me back into wrestling now a lot.
Yep. Now AEW's got their big one coming up here in about 2 months, month and a half, and in London they're All Out pay-per-view. Everybody keeps speculating on all the free agent names who might show up. Drew McIntyre's name came up. That's not going to happen. He's still under contract. Other names coming up. One name I see coming up that I think might work is Nick Aldis. His little contract with TNA is done. He says he won't go WWE, even though Mickie James is there or been there. He won't go there. Being in London, does he do a little 6-month stint with the company and show up?
Yeah.
Have that match with Kenny Omega that they all want to have and just be done with it?
Yes. They're gonna pull Cody Rhodes with Nick Aldis.
Yeah.
I think is what they're gonna do. I love Nick Aldis.
So do I. I've always liked his work, yeah.
I think, yeah, he's great. He's in the ring, he comes out with the $1 million suits, he plays the part, I would, yeah, he won't go to WWE, huh? So I didn't hear that.
No, he won't go there, even though he's done some work with him, I think, in the past. Early in his career, he trained there and kind of got snubbed, and I think he's just kind of holding a grudge against him. I don't know, but he's done well everywhere else. So,
Yeah,
we'll see how he goes there.
Yeah, I think he'll get a big pop at Wembley if he shows up. And
yeah,
so
you can't just bring in a big name. It's got to be a British guy. It's got to be a guy from England or a gal from England because of where you are. You got to play to the home crowd.
You got to do that. Like when WWE's in Puerto Rico, they bring out Cologne,
Puerto Rico and stuff. Yeah,
they bring out these guys you haven't seen in 20 years.
Yep. We're gonna switch gears to like WWE now. Speaking of bringing out locals for the big pop, news that I heard last night after we went off the air here. Local, they slipped it to the local media unintentionally, so WWE's had to come out and say yes. WrestleMania 41 in 2025 at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis.
Oh,
Vikings play. With that said, like we just said, local guy always has to come. Does Ventura make an appearance? Brock Lesnar is going to go over that night. What local AWA guy goes in the Hall of Fame that weekend? Let the speculations begin. You got a year and a half to figure it out. But if it is in Minneapolis, 2-day event, Hall of Fame, you got to put a couple AWA guys in for sure, which we got 16 months to talk about. So,
was Nick Botwinkle in the WWE Hall?
I think Nick already is. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Nick Byrne. I think Jim Brunzell's in there for his part. Maybe Greg. Not. Greg is not in. So maybe they put the high flyers in together. Who knows? Yeah. But we got 16 months to start speculating that and hearing all the rumors and gossips and everybody else.
Is WrestleMania next year in Philadelphia?
Yeah, the next one's in Philadelphia. Then after that, I'll be here. And they were going to do it at Target Field, but because of the weather and maybe baseball being there early in the year when they have it, they didn't want to mess with that. So US Bank is going to take it. I know I've mentioned it a few times here before. All the big events have been happening in Minneapolis. The women's Final Four, regions for basketball, men's and women's. Gymnastics finals are going to be down here. WWE's been seeing what they can do with this new arena, and I think they like it. So, yay, team. We got to start working on our press passes, Dan, because we can go for free.
Yes.
So, with that said, though, other WWE stuff, some of their storylines are kind of hitting a little bit of a lull now because they're kind of tying up some, getting others going. Big news there, though, is they've signed Brian Pillman Jr., which I loved him in AEW.
Me too.
He's in WWE now. Some of the scuttlebutt is when he comes back right off the bat, he's going to take the belt off Dominic.
Oh, is that what the is?
That's kind of that's the scuttlebutt.
I don't know. Dominic, Dirty Dom needs that belt. I think it's just awesome.
He does, but Brian Pillman Jr. is not going to be ready for 3 months yet, but so he'll have a run for a few months. But when he comes in,
that makes sense.
Then. Let Dom have it for a while, and then he comes in first match, can win it, and gives him a little love right off the bat. Because no matter what you want to do with Pillman, he comes in, he's going to be a baby face to start with. That's just what it's going to be.
He's going to be a fan favorite because of his dad. So, what do you think though? I think the Judgment Day's hitting on all cylinders.
They're kind of peaking right now. There's a lot of rumor of they all think that they're going to turn on Dominic and leave him, and the rest will go babyface. I think just Damian Priest goes babyface. Rhea's doing a great job as a heel. Finn's a great heel. Dom's doing good as a heel. Damian Priest would make a great babyface.
Here's the deal. Dominic needs Priest because Dominic is kind of portrayed as a chicken, So
but they might bring someone else in.
Nah, they need I think he needs Priest with them. But Finn Balor's the one that's getting. I don't know. He seems to be the outside looking in lately with that group. So
yeah, we'll see how it goes. I guess I'm kind of being partial to Damian, though. I kind of see him be the one going babyface, or him the one staying heel, and the other three go babyface. Dominic makes the big turn, and that's what they say we get the big pop. I mean, Hogan was as high as he can get. Boom, he went NWO, biggest heel. These heels at the top, and they make that flip. You're great babyface right away. So,
well, he's got that Money in the Bank contract, and they keep flirting with Damian Priest using him on Rollins, but he won't do it because of Finn. So they could be teasing us with something there.
Could be something there. Could be. The women's division there is a joke. I'm sorry. They don't know what they're doing. They try to have something. They don't. I don't get it.
I'm not a fan of their women's division. I think it's better than AEW's, but I don't see Charlotte Flair much. So some of the, I don't know, some of the high-profile women are not either being utilized or they're not there. So
when you got to bring back Trish Stratus after 20 years, something's wrong. And I love Trish back in the day. Don't get me wrong. But still, you can't bring her back 20. I mean, coming back to Wrestle's fine, but you bring her back as one of the top stars right away. That's kind of wrong.
Wow.
You have other stars there. You just don't know what to do with them.
I think Sonya Deville winning the belts. I like that. I like that. I think it's going to turn out good. They're going to do good promos and stuff like that. I look forward to that part. But I think Raquel Rodriguez, that's my girl right there.
NXT champion, Tiffany Stratton. She's a local gal here from Prior Lake. So.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Did not know. I don't watch it that much stuff.
Follow on social media because she was from Prior Lake. Without going off topic, her dad's in some tribute bands that we follow here, so that's how I found that out. So kind of been following her. She's kind of my pick. She might be coming to the big roster pretty soon. So we'll see how that goes. Just kind of her look in a way scared me because they tried to make her look too much like Mandy Rose when they lost her because she was making more money on her side gig. So Tiffany took over, so they went straight to another heel, which is fine, but now you've had a heel champion for 2 years down there. You got to mix that up.
Yes.
So
100%.
And their women's Asuka's okay. I'm okay with Asuka. I got no problem with that. I was never a Bianca Belair fan though.
Really?
I couldn't. I mean, she was good, but they made her like the female John Cena. Like, oh, I'm super strong and no one can beat me. It's like, no, you're not that good.
Really? I'm a big Belair. I didn't like her at first, but I I like. Wow.
The biggest thing I had against her, this is gonna sound stupid, the hair. I couldn't stand the hair.
Like me too. At first, I couldn't either.
Yeah. I really thought at one point that for the right money, someone was going to cut it off on her one time. One heel would cut it off, get the big heel push. It's like, okay, so if she ever cuts it off, she'll lose it in a match, not just come out with short hair. So when she does lose it, it's going to be in a match. I'm pretty sure, because that would go over huge.
Exactly.
I mean, not shave it, just they sneak up behind her and cut it off, kind of like cutting Samson's hair. Boom, there you go. WWE, I heard also yesterday, I'm sure you saw Raw last night, Kevin Owens is legitimately injured. He's been going to some bad ribs lately. So that's why they did the injury angle last night to give him time off. I think, in my opinion, this would be a good time to strip them of the belts so you could separate them. One on each show again.
Really?
That's me. Have them be off long enough, and they can win one of the two back again, whatever show they're on. But you could separate them instead of having both belts on a guy again. That's how I would do it.
You probably the right way of thinking, but
they can win the tournament and keep the Raw belts, and then someone else will be SmackDown champions.
I was kind of getting sick of Kevin Owens anyways, always coming out, acting, yelling, and doing all that passive-aggressive stuff he was doing. I was kind of over it at that point.
Yeah, he's a good wrestler. I don't like him as a champion, though, because you see him too much then.
Yeah.
I could take him in bits. What do you think of this whole Brock Lesnar, Cody Rhodes bit?
You know what? I think everyone was disappointed when he didn't beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I think everyone's like, really? But this is the best alternative for him. You got a whole high-profile guy in Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes. That's gold.
Yep.
He's not going to belt on him. Put him in a feud with Brock Lesnar. That's a smart thing to do, in my opinion. I like it.
Yep.
I'm not a huge Cody Rhodes fan, but he's doing some of the best promo work of his life, and yeah, I'm really into it. I like seeing those two wrestle.
Yeah, it was promo work. It's in his DNA. His old man was one of the best talkers of the day.
If you watch some old school, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Dustin did not get any of that talking ability at all.
No.
Dustin knows the behind the curtain business. He's a great trainer over in AEW, but Cody's more the in ring guy. And I'm kind of glad in a way that, because I would have got sick of it real fast, that his wife isn't wrestling, that they had a baby and she's away from it, because I would have got sick of that real fast, the two of them. A power couple thing,
If his wife was beside his side, then Cody Rhodes would have to be a heel, because no one likes Randy. So if they do a heel switch, then she'll show up. But
then she'll show up. That'd be the good way to know he's going to be a heel if she starts showing up. That's.
So what's up with The Miz, though? Is he doing anything now, or?
I think he's just taking some time off too. He's doing TV shows again right now, movies and stuff. So
I enjoyed his Miz TV.
I think when he's done, he'd be a great just announcer for the rest of his career. Just keep him at ringside on the mic.
I agree with you 100%.
Maybe a manager, then announcer, but straight to announcer would be awesome.
I agree with you. Even though I love Cody Graves, I think he's the best. But
he is too. Yeah.
Him and Kevin Patrick.
But he wants to get back in the ring.
Cody Graves does?
But Corey Graves has been given the clear to get back in the ring. So.
Wow.
But he might not do that because his girlfriend's pregnant, so he might not want to. He wants to keep that time off,
Carmella.
Is it? Yes, she's with baby. The main thing we said earlier about WrestleMania in a couple years coming here to the cities. I like WrestleMania. I will watch the highlights later, but as far as seeing it live, I would not watch it in my backyard, because I could care less about the celebrity matches. I could care, half their matches are junk. It's 2 days and they don't need it. With that said, this whole Logan Paul bit coming back now. Are you a fan of his work or no?
Yes, he is a natural. To me, he is a natural at wrestling. His promos, he just get better. His promos are good, but they're not great. But I think his in-ring ability is great for where he's at, for sure. And he plays up that heelish YouTuber. It's great. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I got no problem with the guy having a podcast and being a wrestler, which is kind of what he's doing. It's just he went backwards and had the podcast first, and now he's wrestling. But the punter from the Colts, Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Don't like him as a wrestler. Don't like Bad Bunny or whatever other singer they bring in.
I agree with you.
If he wants to be a manager at ringside for WrestleMania, fine. Don't get in the match, though.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't like McAfee and I don't like Bad Bunny and all that stuff. Even though they go, I'm surprised they take the bumps they do. But
oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather not. That doesn't appeal to me. Bad Bunny beating Damian Priest. That just, it's not something I'm into. So.
And that's how they thank Damian Priest, by giving him the Money in the Bank, by putting Bad Bunny over. Here you can be champion next year. Well,
what
kind of is. So every time you see someone do a job to a celebrity, go ahead.
I'm sorry. What are they going to do with LA Knight, since he's like one of the most popular wrestlers right now? They're just kind of waiting them out.
Yeah. Don't know. Actually, when they called him up and he had that manager role for a while, that's the role they wanted to give to Adam Cole. And he said, no, so that's why he left.
Wow.
Yep. They wanted to give Adam Cole a manager job when they called him up. So he said, see ya. But LA Knight, when he was Eli Drake, I loved him as Eli Drake. And LA still the same character. Yes. All the work he's done for WWE before, all their 2K video games, the one that they modeled for he did all the walking to the ring and moves sets. It was all Eli Drake did all that for the company. So he's worked for WWE a lot. He's done all the stuff. You call him up, and now you're just dogging him. At least give him the IC belt or the US title. Give him a belt. He deserves something. The whole run with Ted DiBiase and NXT was dope.
I remember that one. For me, the best wrestler out there for money is Gunther. Out of any brand, I think Gunther is the most solid. He plays his part so well. His vocabulary, his in-ring mannerisms. I don't know if there's anybody better than him right now in the ring. I just love him.
So by the time WrestleMania comes your way, it could be Damian Priest against Gunther for the world title. That would be a good match.
Yes, definitely. But
right now, Drew McIntyre is going to give a good run too, though, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gunther, they got to put the belt on that boy soon.
So
he's setting the record for longest or consecutive days with this belt, which is all fine and good. Gives the IC title a little more credibility, so it didn't have it for a while. The way they passed it around. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, he's my favorite.
But that's all I really got. That's it.
Really? Don't want
he's one to watch.
How about Gabe?
What else do you want to cover?
Gable Steveson.
Oh, is he that Olympic wrestler?
Yeah.
Gopher.
He's coming back to the U for another year. And
really? He's not the ring right away, huh?
It was in his contract. He'd come back to the U for one more year. And there is outside word right now he might transfer to Iowa.
What?
Yep. Yep. So he's gonna probably stay at the U, but I think he just kind of says it because it's his pro wrestling bit, just to keep his name out there. It came up. I saw one article a while ago he might go to Iowa, or he's thinking about it. But when he signed his NIL deal with WWE. It was in there that I could go back to college if I wanted to get a national championship or finish that up. And also, I think he wanted to for Olympic reasons too. He wanted to try out for the Olympic team. So that's part of that deal. So another topic you had to cover, sir?
I was just going to ask you about, really quick, the blood and guts match.
Okay. I'm okay with those matches. The way it turned out was fine. They kind of had a quick finish on it, though, where 3 days later was Pac against Claudio. So they didn't really work that storyline for a while. Kind of wish it would have been a couple weeks to build it up.
Exactly.
I like the blood and guts matches. I think 5-on-5 was a good amount there. You know, I just maybe every other year instead of every year, because you can't do that much different in there. It's kind of the same stuff after a while.
Well, I found
So
a
maybe
lot
every
of
other year one.
I watched it, but I thought it was pretty lame this year. It looked like a bunch of guys that they were just standing around like, oh, I'm going to jump this guy, but now I decided not to because it is very indecisive on a lot of stuff during the match on who to do something to or what to do something. You know, I just saw a lot of that and broken glass and I don't know. It just got a little too much. But
yeah, like I said, there's not much more to do. Take it away, do it every couple years or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Elites. I'm not at all, or actually Moxley. I'm not a fan of his either. So, but I did like it when Yuta went to the top of the cage with Nick Jackson or whatever, and he did one move and then said, "Screw this, I'm going back down." Cool. It's just someone falling off the top, you know.
Yeah, that's a little too much. Yeah, because Guevara did that last year, took the bump off the top. And they do the blood and guts. I'm okay with that. Their stadium stampede matches are okay. I'm not a big fan of the theater matches where you can tape half of it ahead of time, like they do with Matt Hardy when they did the Hardy Compound matches. Yeah, they were kind of good, but again, every 16 months do those, not too often.
Exactly, I'm with you. Skip it for a little bit. Yeah.
Yep. I'm okay with that. The other one I was going to ask you about for stuff when they do Survivor Series, stuff like that, where it's brand against brand in WWE. Sometimes they have like SmackDown against Raw. Do you see AEW doing something like that at a pay-per-view where it's Dynamite against Collision or something like that coming up? Or do you think they'll avoid that to not be like WWE?
They won't do it for a couple years, but I think they will at some point. For sure.
Yeah. I don't think at first, but in a while they might have a hard split, like you're on this show or that show, that's it. But not at first.
Exactly. And I think I also got that Ring of Honor where guys are wrestling Ring of Honor and then they show up on Dynamite and they show up on Collision and you don't see them. And all of a sudden there they are again, you know. So they got kind of fight for this too. Like, okay, who's going to be on Collision? Who's going to be on Dynamite? Who's just solely going to be on Ring of Honor? I don't really like it when Samoa Joe drops in for a couple weeks and he disappears for 3 months. And you know, I don't know. I don't really like that. So
I don't want them to make Ring of Honor like their NXT though either. I like it being its own separate brand, but don't have guys jumping back and forth between shows.
No, not at all. I don't like that either. So that's the part I don't like. AEW right now. It's one of things, but yeah.
You can't jump between WWE and AEW, so kind of keep it that same way. Don't mention them. Don't talk about them. That's where they are. Make it the third show.
Is Claudio still the Ring of Honor champ?
Yes.
Okay. And
yeah, he's got the championship belt. I don't know who's got their tag belts. They just got switched. Just shows you how much I pay attention to that one.
Exactly.
And Joe is their TV champ.
Okay,
gotcha. Yeah, tag teams all over the place over there, and the Briscoe situation was kind of sad with that, how that happened.
Yeah,
is what I did that one.
And they dropped the ball with Mark Briscoe right now. Hopefully they have some big plans for him. He got in that little feud with Aubrey Edwards and Jeff Jarrett, and so
watch for Jeff Jarrett to show back up at WWE too.
Oh, really? You know something I don't?
Yeah, his last match after that, he lost, and he's not coming back afterwards. I heard he might go back to the WWE, and I think a lot of it has to do with the podcast he has.
Okay.
Maybe WWE will give him a little more pull. Come here, and we'll let you still do that, and we can give you more inside poop on our guys, or they could be guests and that. Everybody that's old, as much as Conrad Thompson says he's an independent guy, it's WWE guys on his podcasts now.
Oh, really?
So
I haven't paid much attention.
We'll see. Most of his podcasts are all.
I'm a Cornette.
Good when he started. Pritchard, I used to love Pritchard's podcast until he went back to work with them a few years ago. Then he became an ass kisser again and quit calling people out.
Yeah, I like Cornette and Conan.
Yeah.
And little I like
Cornette is good. Over the top sometimes.
Yeah.
Bischoff's is good. Cornette's kind of I compare Cornette, his podcast, to listen to Rush Limbaugh, where if you filter through all the if you filter thing, I agree with his point. He gets there. It goes over the top on some stuff. Okay, yes. You don't like him, I understand.
Yeah.
You want to talk history of wrestling, you listen to Cornette's history stuff.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
That will blow you away. I can listen to him talk about. That's why I like him on the dark side of the watch those at all.
Yep. I see a few of them.
The documentaries. I like his insight on that because he kind of gives he doesn't hold back. He's got no friends. He's got no allegiance to anybody. So he could either praise you or rip you as a company. He don't care anymore. So.
Well, Tony Khan to hire him, and he said no because the EVPs were going to be Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. So he said no, I ain't going to do it. So
yeah,
he can't talk about it because
he said he has like all that flippity flop.
Yeah. So.
Well, he said he has like all the flop stuff, but you know what? For back in the day, flippity flop stuff. For back then, he was a high flyer coming off the top rope and doing stuff. That's for that time, that's what it was.
I'm not.
This is okay.
The modern wrestling of the Lucha Brothers and stuff like that, I'm not into. Where you can see a mile away and it's totally choreographed, and it's just kind of like, okay, if you
high spot.
Yeah, if you watch Lucha Brothers match and then you watch the FTR Bullet Club Gold match, and if you think the Lucha Brothers match was better, then I don't know, you might need to go to the doctor. So,
yeah. They're good matches, but again, I can't watch AAA where it's every match like that all night long. That drives me nuts.
It's
like listening to country music. You don't know where it ends and starts. It's all one big same thing,
Yeah, exactly.
They all sound alike. I haven't watched NWA in a while. They got kind of bad for a while when Billy Corgan kind of took over everything. It kind of went downhill. Nothing against Tyrus, good guy. He's not a champion. That putting the belt on him was the biggest. When they put the belt on him, I quit watching because it was a mistake.
Yes, it was. Last time I watched NWO, it's been a while. It's been ages. and I really liked it, but they just never got a TV deal or anything like that. So I don't know.
Ricky Morton's kid's doing a good job.
Yeah.
I follow him a little bit. Kerry Morton, he's doing okay. I like him. It's tough watching Ricky.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with you.
I love the man, but no, can't do that. Can't do that. Any other topics you want to cover, sir?
No. Oh, I think we covered a lot.
Yeah, we'll do this every 3 weeks. You got anything, Dan? Anything you want to enlighten you on?
No, I was interested in the Gable Stevenson thing, but that was interesting as far as if he goes to Iowa.
Yeah, when he signed his contract WWE, the NIL one, I could go back for my national championships and Olympic. And I saw one scuttlebutt a couple weeks ago about maybe a transfer to Iowa. I don't know if that was someone overheard a talk over beers and it came up. What sticks on that, but we shall see.
Yeah, his final match, he did take his wrestling shoes off and laid them on the mat. That's your indicator, right? That you're done. It's your final match. But
yeah, that should be
possibly coming back. That'll be interesting to watch. Any other closing thoughts, guys?
Yeah, I got a question for you, Dan.
No, that's yeah.
If you're doing trivia at a bar, what would your team name be?
Oh, I don't even know. I'd have to think about that one.
Mine would be the liquor
trivia at a bar. It would have to be something good, something tongue in cheek, something funny. What would yours be?
Liquor store looter.
Oh yes. What would yours be, Andy?
Geez, I don't know. I better not say in case Pastor's listening. So.
Yeah, it's a good question, Craig. I do see some of those funny ones come up, and I'm never usually the one to key in a pretty good name for that until I see the other ideas, and I don't want to change it there. But those are I like the comedy, the ones that involve some good comedy.
All
right, guys, thanks for your time tonight. Craig from Philly, Andy, and myself. Please leave your comments below on this, and we'll also some upcoming questions. Leave your comments as far as questions for the next episode. This is episode 1. We're doing this again down the road, and put in some suggestions and requests and questions. We'll cover it in the next show.
You got it. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a good week.
Yep.
See ya.
See ya.